Hey guys, my name is Sanjay. Welcome to the Engineer Wannabe YouTube channel. I hope you all are doing well and are having a good weekend so far. And I hope we have a good time tonight. I have a couple of things I'd like to chat with you about, and I'm looking forward to chatting with you one on one. All right, so let me say hi to you all in the chat real quick. Hey, Kevin Hawthorne is first. Good to see you. We got Bill K. How's it going? Happy Saturday to you as well. Hey Keith, how are you? Good to see you. Wilson, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Hey Patrick, good to see you. Early, yes, by 2 minutes. Hey BJ, good to see you as well. Jazz, how's it going? Mr. from the Berg. Hope you're doing well as well. Oh, look at that. We got Cowboy QG. Walter, good to see you. And Brownie, how's it going? Let us know what's on your wrist. I don't think I missed any wrist checks there. On my wrist is Longines Spirit 37. Uh, Back on bracelet. I had it on a strap for a while. Probably my least favorite deluxe strap. I curved the spring bars with the spoon, like two spoons. You stick the spoon on top of the other and press real hard. Gives it a slight curvature, and it's slight, but it's just enough to go around the sharp edge on the underside of the case of the Longines Spirit. So it stopped gouging that strap, and yeah, I was pretty pleased with that. So I'm able to try some of my other straps and hopefully not damage them, because this one strap got pretty, it didn't get chewed up, but it got a little, scratched, which is not too bad. But Wilson says he's wearing the Oyster Quartz. Cool. I didn't know you had one. Or did I know you had one? I didn't know you had one, Wilson. That's really cool. Zen Master, good to see you wearing the CWC tonight. Very nice. Brownies wearing the sub date. Very cool. Chaz is wearing the LHD. Yes. Excellent choice. And let's see. Hey, Floor. Floor, hope I'm pronouncing that right. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Scott's wearing the watch that I've got my eyes set on. Pelagos 39. Very good choice, Scott. BJ. BJ's got the date just 41. Very nice. Hey, Pale Horse. Good to see you. Um, Greg. Hey, Greg. Good to see you. Oh, we're in the Longines Ultracron. Very nice. We're Longines Brothers tonight. Hey, Keith is wearing his favorite purchase of last year. That was his favorite purchase, right? No, was it the Ming? I can't remember now, Keith. Sorry. But one of the coolest purchases from last year. Patrick is wearing the Black 58 bronze. Very nice, sir. How's the patina on that? Is I know Tudor had a bronze alloy that patinated in a even way, more even way. I don't know. Be curious to see that. I should check your Instagram. Maybe you have a picture of that. Let's see. Ken Spear, how's it going? Good to see you. Checking in from Pittsburgh. Scott is asking, have you ever tried the 36 millimeter Explorer? I feel like you'd really dig it. I have not. I know I probably would really dig it. I had a bit of a crush on the 36 mil two-tone Explorer. I know that's a little sacrilegious. Explorer was not, when it came out, it was like the worst thing Rolex could have ever done. Put that two-tone garbage on the Explorer, which is supposed to be a field watch, or yeah. I don't know. I thought it looked cool. I really liked it. Federico. Federico lost his marbles on that one. Yeah, he was pretty. That was a weird phase he went through, Federico, those days. Was it 2020? Maybe it was the pandemic. I don't know. Was it? Yeah, it was 2020. I'm pretty sure. Rolex the Rolex madness. Sorry, let's get back on track here. Hans Wilsdorf. That's a great name. Uh, he's got his BlackBerry Pro. Cool, great choice. I do really like the BlackBerry Pro. I saw Torrens one, and Torren, I see Torren in the chat. Good to see you, sir. Um, Good evening. Hope you had a good day today. Maybe some hiking, I hope. But Hans has the BlackBerry Pro. I was really impressed with the BlackBerry Pro. Um, Ken Spears wearing the Kamasu and Oyster Perpetual. Very cool. Mez9's wearing the Tudor Ranger. Very nice. I do like the Tudor Ranger. Actually, one of my thoughts has the Tudor Ranger on it. One of the silly thoughts that I used to have back in the day, as a newbie. I still am a newbie. Let's see. Keith Davis, thoughts on Longines Hydro Conquest in the ceramic case. Can this be a daily driver watch? Well, you got me there. I did not know Longines did a Hydro Conquest in a ceramic case. That's news to me. But I would think that would be a great daily driver because the ceramic case is super light. It doesn't scratch. Chances of you smashing that onto something is very slim, I would think. So it is unlikely to shatter. So I would think any ceramic watch is a great daily driver material. I mean, our friend Bobby K has a ceramic Girard Perregaux Laureato. He said it was his favorite purchase of the last previous year, 2022. And yeah, I don't see how any ceramic watch would be a perfect daily driver. So I'd recommend it. But that's cool that Longines did a ceramic Hydro Conquest. I'd have to look into that. Okay, so before getting into my thoughts, I wanted to quickly chat about the Blackberry 58 Silver, which I purchased. Was it last week? It was last week. Last Saturday. Oh, exactly 1 week. So the Blackberry Silver has no patina on mine, and I wore it every day this week except for Friday because I thought that's enough. I really wanted to wear the Blackberry 925, the Blackberry 58 925 again on Friday, and I chose not to. Bit of an interesting story there, I guess. Okay, so quick, I'll go into it quickly. Okay, I put on the Blackberry 925 for the sixth straight day in a row, and that's the only watch I've been wearing this whole week. And I was going to walk out the door, go to work, but then I thought, you know what, I'll wear something different today. Came back in the house, spent about 5 minutes deciding which watch I was going to wear, and I picked the Sea of Clouds. So Grand Seiko SPGP 017. And I thought, I miss wearing this. I haven't worn it for a week. I'm going to wear the Grand Seiko Sea of Clouds. Leave for work, right? And there was this massive accident on, not a massive accident, but a really inconvenient accident on the highway to work. And I was caught very close to it. And I think if I had not changed my watch that day, there was a good chance that I could have been right under. Okay, a sign fell down, one of those massive, signs on the freeway, as my American friends want to call it. So one of the massive signs that lets you know which exit it is, and what road exit is coming up next. That entire thing collapsed onto the highway. There's a good chance I would have been under that. So interesting story there. I'm glad I went back to change my watch. Problem though was that I was stuck in there for 2.5 to 3 hours. I was just sitting there. That's never happened to me before, so I'm glad. And I had no gas. I got lazy the night before, and I thought I'm just gonna fill up the next day. So yeah, I was sitting there in the cold. Thankfully, it wasn't like minus 20 degrees Celsius, but it was only like 3 or 4 degrees Celsius, which is very nice for January. So I didn't run out of gas, and I didn't freeze to death. And yeah, interesting, interesting, interesting day on Friday. But yeah, back to the 9 to 5. Let me just jump in the chat because I see it's kind of flying a little bit. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Did I miss anyone? Don't think. Okay, so Hans Will's dork. That's a good one. Wait, is that a different profile picture? Did you change your profile picture? Yeah, you did. You totally did. I mean, it can't be. What is going on? That's a great name though. Hans Will's dork. Anyway, 9 to 5 alloys designed to patina slowly. It is. It is designed to patina slowly, but maybe the stories of them patinating really quickly was exaggerated. Because it feels like there was a story every other day about how badly their 925 was patinating, um, in the forums or on YouTube when it first came out, when the watch first came out. It was talking about patina all the day long. And I wore this watch. It was getting chemicals on it. It was getting water on it, and no patina, not yet at least. Maybe the wax, the spray wax that I use. I'm a detailer by trade, automotive detailer. I use a spray wax. Maybe that's protecting it. I don't know. Well, I mean, it's designed to patina slowly, so I just um, hopeful. We'll see. We'll see in a month, right? That's when the trigger seems to be. Where the hands in the air, channeling my inner Federico, right? Federico's pretty animated, right? I listen to him more than I watch him, so I'm not sure. Torrent, another potential fender bender that would have cost. Oh, you wouldn't believe. Can you imagine if that sign fell on my car? I I would have lost all the watches. It would have been all gone. Burned it to the ground. Anyway, yeah. So that's my little story of the day. It was an adventure. I had fun. You know, it was. I was happy that no one was hurt, and the whole thing was just surreal for me. You know, so once I knew that no one was hurt, I was able to just really appreciate, the OPP, Ontario Provincial Police driving in. The guys, like the people who are super um, impatient, like turning around, going back on the shoulder, like driving back on the shoulder. I thought that was I was able to just laugh at that a bit. People behind, getting super angry and upset. A couple of people getting out of their cars and chatting with each other. It was yeah, it was an ordeal. I had fun watching the people around me. Um, yeah. Anyway, Chaz says Sanjay narrowly missed an accident and a bad trade of the AD. Yeah, that would have been that would have been bad. I could have totally seen myself getting rid of the SPGY 003 next, because that was already on the chopping block. It was pretty close. So yeah, I'm glad it didn't happen. Anyway, so my silly thoughts. I thought I'd chat a bit. I was kind of thinking about um like kind of reflecting on things that I used to believe about watches. I think the thing that triggered this was I was measuring the accuracy of my 9 to 5, because I make notes on a Google Docs um, while I'm preparing to review watches. So like the couple of months that I own a watch, which is funny to say out loud, but I keep notes. I have like a running note document. So I was measuring the accuracy on the 9 to 5, and I thought, I don't really care about the accuracy. I don't care about the accuracy about any of my watches, but I know people care about the accuracy. So I make myself measure accuracy over 7 days, and then I put the average accuracy down in my review. Um, so what I was doing was, when I was reflecting on the fact that I didn't care about accuracy anymore, I thought, hey, what else? What else has changed? And I hope I'm not retreading on anything that I've treaded on in the past streams, but I feel like I was thinking, hey, maybe we can maybe we can talk a bit about that. So I started writing down a list using my beloved. Let me get into fountain pens here real quick. My beloved Visconti Opera Master, uh, Polynesia. Yeah, with what ink is this? Jacques Urban, uh, Turd Ombre ink. Okay, I'm done. That one's for you, Wolfgang. Okay, so this is going to be like silly thoughts about watches and watch collecting as a newbie, reflecting back now as somewhat more experienced. I wouldn't say I'm an experienced collector at all, or an experienced enthusiast. I'm far from it. I'm more into Grand Seiko. Maybe I would consider myself okay on Grand Seiko, but yeah, okay enthusiast on Grand Seiko. Anyway, let's get into it. So I was thinking. So I already kind of talked about accuracy. Accuracy to me used to matter. I used to be crazy about accuracy, mechanical accuracy, and I can see why. I can see why someone would be really into mechanical accuracy because it's a feat of it's a feat of engineering. You have something made out of gears and springs, to put it really simplistically, that keeps time accurately, reasonably accurately, and it does so reliably, right? So I can see how accuracy is really important, but to a collector, and there are experienced collectors who find accuracy important, and maybe later on in life I'll find accuracy super important again, mechanically speaking. But accuracy in a mechanical watch really doesn't matter to me anymore. But it used to matter to the extent where I would take, when I was in back then, I was into Seiko only, um, and I'd purchase, the Presage models, and if they were off by say minus 20 seconds a day, I'd take the case back off and trying to, adjust the 6R15 movement, and make a mess of it. So I'd actually try to make it more accurate, and I don't do that now, primarily because I rotate watches every few days. I wear a different watch every other day. Accuracy really doesn't come into play when you change your watch. So if you wear a watch, and obviously if you don't keep them wound up, right? So if you wear a watch for 3 days, and let's say it's minus 20 inaccurate, it'll be a minute off in the 3 days that you do wear it. But if you keep it wound up and you won't keep it on watch winder, and then you take the watch and then it's 15 minutes off, then yeah, that's a problem. But I let my watches run down, and I don't really revisit them after I worn them for about 3 days until about a week from now, and the watch is dead and I had to reset it anyway. So accuracy really doesn't matter to me as a watch enthusiast. But if it does matter to you, that's important as well. So yeah, this is purely subjective. But let me dip into the chat again. I've been kind of neglecting it. Let's see. Kevin S. Good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. I'm guessing this is about the SPGY 003. Nope, nope, nope. I still have Wilson Ontario Provincial Police, OPP, are named after a song. Is OPP a song? I don't know. There you go. Okay, it must be a popular song. It's down to the OPP. Anyway. Velocity, pleased to meet you. Hope you're doing well. Any 80s in the GTA that accept trade-ins towards new purchase? Yes. Bandera Jewelers is who I use. Yeah. So I'd recommend trying them out depending on what you're hoping to trade. But they are the ones I use all the time. Hey Sam, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Wilson, care about the accuracy of a watch if the movement is touted for its accuracy, like the Sea of Clouds. That makes sense. Yeah, and there was that whole thing with the White Birch and the 9SA5 high beat movement. They had some accuracy issues off the bat when the White Birch was new, and it seems to, from what I'm being told, it seems to have been ironed out now. It was the first time they've done a overcoil, if I'm not mistaken, and it was done by hand, and all those were the excuses, that I heard, at least, as to why they were having some accuracy issues. But anyway, uh, Dip saying nerd. I sure am, and so are you. Hey, Detroit Spartan, good to see you. Hope you're doing well, sir. Michael Neuer. I hope I'm not butchering that. Accuracy and loom are the two things I care about least now. Hey, look at that. Yeah, I don't care about loom either. Um, but yeah, I used to care about loom. That's another thing. Good point, Michael. Um, Hans Wilsdorf. You're gonna get me every time. That's good. I do like a reasonably accurate watch. I will say my tutor has gained 2 seconds in a week. There you go. Can't think of another mechanical I've owned that accurate. Um, my 925 actually has lost 10 seconds in a week, so it's about a little over -1 seconds a day in terms of accuracy. So yeah, 2 seconds a week is really good. Let's see. Sam asks if I have a time grapher. I do not. I probably eventually will, because I do have a vintage watch now, and I'd like to keep an eye on it. Um, you know, take it into service preemptively. Vintage watch was gifted to me, a vintage Ulysse Nardin by Walter, and yeah, it's such a beautiful watch, and I hope to keep it forever, and keep it in good condition. So I will probably get a time grapher in the next 6 months or so, just to keep an eye on that watch. So if amplitude's going down or something like that, I know to take it in, get it looked at. Um, Detroit Spartan says, I wish Wilson was accurate when I tell him to pick me up at a certain time. There you go. Hey, us watch guys, we seem to be the ones who are late to places. I tend to be a little running, uh, probably because I'm spending 5 minutes picking which watch I want to wear, like on Friday. um, yeah, so that was one of the things. Something a little different. Um, something I've been so that one I mentioned about accuracy was from the past. I'll get back to another one from the past. Something probably a bit more controversial that I used to think. Um, But something I'm thinking in the present was selling a watch that I find really dear to me or precious to me. Um, Selling one of the watches that I really enjoy, and then buying two identical watches, and then gifting one of those watches to someone I hold dear. So in a way, but it would have to be someone who has an appreciation for watches, so someone personal. I don't think I could do that for my wife. Um, she doesn't really care about watches, and if I were to sell, say, my Speedmaster, which I love my Speedmaster, and I bought two Cartier tanks of some sort, a his and hers, and I gifted one of the tanks, and it would be like an act of love, right? Because you're taking this item that you love, which in the grand scheme of things is not worth as much as a person, not even close. Not It's like garbage compared to the value of a person, right? Um, and then showing this person that you love them by picking an identical watch, and sharing one between you. So that's something I've been thinking about. I was thinking maybe my dad. My dad loves watches. Uh, mm, he used to service his own watch. I think he taught himself how to do that. He had a Rado Purple Horse. He has a Rado Purple Horse, and I've already gifted him a Glycine Combat, one of the field watches, Combat 6. It's not an expensive watch or anything. I mean, it is a significant watch, but I was thinking it'd be cool if we both had Seamasters. It's like something outrageous, uh, like that. But yeah, so my dad is a top contender because he appreciates watches. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd actually go through with that. I probably will eventually. Um, yeah, that's another thing I've been thinking about. It seems like a silly thought though, right? I don't know if that's silly. Let me know what you think. um, but I was another present silly thought is getting out of collecting watches. Not not seriously considering this. That which is why it's a silly thought. But being like a Tim Masso, like I mean, he's a collector, but is he? He's an enthusiast, but he's not a collector, right? It doesn't seem that way. Maybe he'll morph into one again because he used to be a JLC collector. I don't know him that well, so if I'm wrong, my apologies. But getting out of collecting and then having like this Halo piece that I really love, which is like the SPGY 003, um, and just being this enthusiast, crazy enthusiast, which I'm kind of crazy about Grand Seiko anyway. So thinking of it in that way, I don't know if I'm able to survive. I mean, of course, I'm being dramatic here, but I don't know if I'd be able to just have one watch, like the SPGY 003. That would be an interesting experiment if I'm able to do that. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But that's another thought that I had. Let me know if you guys have had silly thoughts. Be interesting to silly or thought provoking thoughts. Thought provoking thoughts. There we go. Let me get into the chat here. See what you guys are saying. Birthday in November, says Dib. I'm guessing some kind of conversation going there. Dib saying get a love bracelet. Not sure what that is. Just say like love in those cookie candy, like the edible bracelets, right? I don't know. Yeah, I could do that. It's not as impactful. GLD, what about me? Says I love watches. Yeah. I know you do. I mean, you're here, so I would think you do. Let's see. Hans says I told my fiance we should. I'm guessing we should buy his and hers Cartier tanks for the wedding. She just gave me a weird look. Yeah. That's what my wife would do. If you'd like to catch last week's stream, she actually was our guest on the show. Velocity asking about insurance for watches. Not sure where you're located, Velocity, but I've heard great things about Hodinky insurance. So I've heard that they're really, really good for that. Detroit Spartan mentioning Chubb. Yeah. So I've heard good things about Hodinky insurance, that they're really easy. There we go. Well, St. Julius Mutual. I've also heard that you can contact your home insurance. Um, I haven't insured any of my watches really. Probably should. Hans saying call your auto insurance provider for a quote on jewelry insurance or try Hodinky. There you go. Jazz says got my wife a lady snowflake so we could have matching snowflakes, but then I ended up trading my snowflake. I did a similar thing. Yeah. Okay. So that controversial thing that I had mentioned earlier was back in the day, I was buying Tissot. I was buying a Tissot C-Star 1000, 44 mil, way too big for my wrist, but it was back in the day. My collection at the time consisted of, I think, a Citizen ProMaster Diver and Seiko Sarb 035, and I wanted a Swiss watch, so that was gonna be the Tissot Sea Star because I thought dive watches were my thing. They definitely are not. um, but so I was picking up this Tissot, and the lady asked if I'd wanted to see Speedmaster because I mentioned I was into the Aquaterra and the Speedmaster, and I had never seen either of those. So I saw the Aquaterra, was kind of impressed. I thought, hey, this might be the next step after I sell my Sarb 035. I'll get the Aquaterra, right? But then I saw the Speedmaster, and I thought it was the cheapest thing I had ever seen. And I thought the Tissot Sea Star was a better, more premium looking watch, uh, only because of the dial. The dial was printed and it appeared very shallow. While the Sea Star had a deeper dial, thicker indices. I know. This is shameful to say out loud. And so I had this connotation that a printed dial was cheap and inexpensive, and it was a cut corner. So that was what I was talking about when I mentioned Mes9's Tudor Ranger. Tudor Ranger has a printed dial, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure. The Speedmaster has a printed dial, and many other watches that are really nice. Oris Breakdown Pro Pilot printed dial. And yeah, this is absolutely like if I could go back in time, I'd slap me in the face at that AD, taking a look at that Speedmaster, thinking this is trash. I own a Speedmaster now, so I think I make up for that. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. I used to think that the bling was in the sense of in the dial, bling in the dial was necessary. And by bling, I don't mean diamonds. I mean like thick, um, thick indices, like applied indices. So the Seamaster 300 Professional blew me away. So I thought, okay, you got the C Star 1000 TSO, then you got the big, Omega Seamaster Professional 300. Yeah. And then I was like, what is up with the Speedmaster? What is this? Yeah. Yeah. It's unfortunate. So that's a really silly thing that I used to think printed dials are bad. I used to think printed dials are bad and cheap. So there you go. I am pretty embarrassed about that one. So KR Joey is mentioning wife admits we should have got her Rolex watches instead of rings 39 years ago. Wow, you guys have been married for 39 years. That's amazing. Congrats. Congrats, KR Joey. That's really exciting. Right? I'm not misreading that. Right? Wow, 39 years. That's amazing. Congrats. Yeah. That's a relationship goal for me if I live that long. Um I hope to hit 50. 50 years married. I'd be 73. I'd be 73. Yeah. I don't know if I live that long. We'll see. No way, Chaz. She doesn't realize mine is gone. Says Chaz about the snowflake. Oh, that's amazing. Hey, Bobby, good to see you. He says, at least you traded the snowflake and not your significant other. I've heard stories of men doing the other way around. Much more expensive trade. Yeah. Detroit Spartans is my better half asked for Cartier tank. Got her a gold Daytona instead. Whoa, okay. that's different. But yeah, I I hope she appreciated that. I do hope she appreciated that. um Sam says, when did you realize your taste refined um on watches? I guess this is one of those relative things, right? Like someone's taste changing or honing in on something. Um, yeah, what I might consider refined might not be what someone else considers refined. Right? Like a person who considers Grand Seiko to be awful, probably thinks I'm a nut bar. And you know what? I might be a nut bar. But, when did I realize I think I realized when I bought my no. Yeah, maybe. When I bought a Zenith the first time, and I didn't really enjoy it. I probably yeah, that was when I thought, I think I should stick to Grand Seiko. I haven't stuck to Grand Seiko, like, hard and fast, but, Omega and Grand Seiko are my comfort food. So, I think I honed in on those, and I think it was when I bought that first Zenith. As cool as I thought that Zenith was, it helped me realize that that wasn't for me, and I probably found my lane, and I'm in it. So, I hope that's a good answer, Sam. When when did you when did you realize, um, that your tastes were refined or came to a point? I think tastes are still changing, right? Hey, Bobby! Bobby's here. Bobby, good to see you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How are you?
Doing well. It says you doing. Seeing you there, this just made me feel happy.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's good. What's on your list, sir?
I actually bought my favorite watch. I put it on the Speedmaster bracelet, but it's the
Oh.
Silver Snoopy 2, and I put the new bracelet on it. I think this is the Heslite, the new Heslite bracelet.
Oh, so you bought another one?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I did. So
Wow.
I bought that for the for another Speedmaster, but I do like this. This is the first time I'm putting this on
That
a
looks good.
bracelet.
That
It
looks
does
really
look
good.
pretty nice. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Wow,
yep,
good
my favorite
choice.
watch.
So
Hmm.
that's your all-time favorite, the
Yeah,
Snoop.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is my favorite watch. That if I had to remove all the other watches, this would be the watch that I would keep.
Wow. It's, high praise.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, like you said, I like Speedmasters, and this is my favorite iteration of the Snoopy. A lot
yeah.
of people like the Snoopy 3, which is nice. I do just like the. I think this is more the white on black has a more how do you say timeless approach, and the
Mm,
Snoopy 3 is blue. So I mean, it could be, but usually you don't traditionally have blue Speedmasters. And
yeah.
there's Gemini 4 and a couple other variations of the Speedies that have blue colors on it. But you either think of a black Speedmaster, the
Yeah.
traditional one, or a white like Alaska Project or this one. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Would you buy the Alaska project again? Prices are going down, right, on that?
yeah. I mean, I've been going on. I really last year I didn't think about it, but I'm thinking like, why not try the moon swatch? The wire
Ah, there you go,
precision
yeah.
wires. You know,
Yeah.
I think it's available now in swatch stores. I might take a stab at that just to have that feeling. And but I
Wet
do
your
like the
beak.
last one a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Um, Bobby, do you wanna answer this one? When did you realize you were really into Speedmasters?
Uh, I think my second luxury purchase was a Speedmaster. This was my
Okay.
second luxury purchase from the boutique.
Your first one
Just
was a Seamaster, right? Like the
Speedmaster, and I didn't buy this was because at that point in time the Speedmaster was more expensive and still is.
yeah,
But I was like, the entry level was the pre ceramics Seamaster, and I liked it so much. I think the Seamaster brought my refinement in taste in luxury watches, I guess, and then I guess it just naturally developed into Omega being my one of my favorite brands, and then went naturally into the Speedmaster. And having owned a lot of chronographs, I still think Speedmaster is probably the best, if not, the most iconic chronograph.
mhm,
And there's so many iterations. There's always something for somebody. That's
yeah,
what I like about Speedmaster. There's somebody like even if you have a small race, you can have their speed reduced, or you know, uh, um, the vintage ones are a little smaller, so you
yeah,
can probably get that. Or so, and the different color variations. I think there's always a speed for somebody.
yeah, yeah, well said. Back into the chat here. Detroit Spartan talking about that Daytona came in within a week. Wow. So 1 to 2 years. Yeah. 1 to 2 years is pretty good, I hear too, right? Good problem to have. Says Detroit Spartan. Yeah, congrats. That's really cool. Um, Hans Wilsdorf says, would you agree the Zenith looks better in
It's a
pictures?
nice name.
It is an amazing name, isn't it? um, Zenith looks better in pictures compared to Grand Seiko. I disagree. I used to have the Chronomaster 38 before it was discontinued. So now it's called like the original Zenith Chronomaster original, I think. Um, but this one was slightly different. Like the lug shape and the case shape was slightly different. Um, I think a lot of Grand Seikos look better. Subjective, right? Um, may not be objectively correct. I don't know if that's
I think the dials look better in
yeah,
Grand Seiko. I would say that. But then, like I used to have an El Primero
yeah,
striking 10th, and that looked really nice on the wrist, like the
yeah,
tricolor dial, and it's nice. Nice to take pictures. Again, everything's subjective, right? Pictures, like you
yeah,
said.
yeah. Yeah,
I would
I
say the finish, the movements, or I think Zenith, the El Primero movement looked really, really nice.
oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah. The movement hands down looks better.
yeah,
Um, except maybe now Grand Seiko has the 9SA5. I think that looks incredible.
yep.
Um, but yeah, back then the movements were better, but the dials and I'd say even the cases. Grand Seiko had the cases because my favorite case is the 44 GS style case,
Mhm.
um, and I think that case is more beautiful to my eye than anything really that Zenith has put out. Um, yeah, but good question, Hans. Good question. Uh, let's see. Chaz saying that Snoopy looks really great on the bracelet.
I'm
Uh,
surprised I haven't done that before. I've owned this watch for 7 years. Never
yeah,
put a bracelet on.
yeah. Kara Joy saying brave swapping bracelets. We do it all the time. did you do it yourself or did you take it in?
I did it myself. The Snoopy too. I don't. I like just do. That's my favorite watch. I just do my everything else. I just give it to somebody else. The Snoopy
Yeah,
too. I like doing. It's
you
not
can
too
like
hard. And beauty basis is not that hard to
yeah
put it on.
yeah it's pretty simple. But you live like walking distance from 3ADs or something, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
um all right. Let's see here. Oh, Velocity with another great question. Your vote for coolest watch name? Can anything beat Ball Engineer Hydrocarbon Submarine Warfare Ceramic Chronograph?
I do
You
like the
got it.
name Watch Vacheron Constantine. I don't know why. It sounds cool. Vacheron.
Ration Constantine, yeah. I do like Ration Constantine. I like saying Ration Constantine.
Yeah, exactly. Rolls off the tongue. Uh,
Yeah, it does. And it bamboozles a few people too. Like yeah. I can ask my wife about, I'll show her this hey Jenna, what do you think of this Vacheron Constantin Historique 1921? And yeah, impress her. But other cool names. I think Longines is a really cool name. I do like,
mhm.
yeah, but that's not
Bomb and
watching, right?
Mercier.
Bomb
Bomb and
Mercy.
Mercier sounds cool.
So those are brands for Velocity. Velocity is talking about a watch name. Um, Hydrocarbon Submarine Warfare Ceramic Chronograph. That
See,
sounds like
that's
a military weapon.
like a mission
Yeah.
code name.
Or it sounds like an AliExpress listing. Um, like a AliExpress cell phone case or even a watch, Men
I just feel like the more names you put on it, the less desirable it is to me. Like
yeah,
you just need to have one name,
yeah,
or two names, especially for like even cars, right?
yeah,
You say Porsche 911 or whatever Jaguar F, F type.
F-Type.
2 words. That's it. I don't want to
Yeah,
hear multiple names.
yeah.
But again, It's a great watch. Ball. I like balls. The 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 loom on those watches.
Oh yeah, the tritium tubes.
Multicolor one. That
Yeah,
one.
that
Very
was really nice.
pretty on looms.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of more names. Like I'm trying to think of a car name that now that you mentioned car names, I'm trying to think of something that's got a lot of um sub names.
Cartier is a nice name too. Cartier.
Cartier. Oh yeah. So like the Mass Mysterious. That's it. That's cool, right?
Or
Uh,
cat. Even just saying Cartier Santos Dumont.
oh yeah.
Just you know,
Yeah.
sounds elegant.
Yeah. It does. You made it sound really American there.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, but the French in me is, as you can see, very poor.
Yeah, I'm just pulling your leg.
JLC, God knows. I mean, I like hearing French people say JLC. It's French Swiss.
Yeah.
When they say it correctly, it sounds nice. That's why I
Yeah.
say JLC.
That reminds me of Armand the watch guy. I don't know what happened to him, but when he said "Je le Colt," he did it perfectly, and it sounded really nice. Um, but yeah, anyway, moving on. Detroit Spartan saying my first luxury purchase was a Speedy Tuesday. Wow.
That's actually a nice watch too. The Reverse Panda.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if you have ever owned that one. Have you tried it on, Sanjay?
The Speedy Tuesday?
The one,
No, no, I haven't.
because it has a concentric circles. The subdials light up,
Okay.
zoom up, and it's kind of like the based on the Alaska project too. Um, the design, the
Yeah.
original one, like so.
Huh.
Again,
Um,
RJ from Fratello definitely is the OG on Speedmaster. So
yeah.
kudos to him for making two great designs in the Speedy One, Tuesday One, and Speedy Tuesday Two, which is Ultraman.
I was gonna do a
Both
little inside joke there, and say this is your monthly reminder that Fratello watches and RJ Robert Yambroro was the first person to invent Speedy Tuesday, and don't you dare forget it. um,
he put Speedmasters on the map. That's for sure.
yeah, yeah. Let's see. Is this the one?
This is the one, the first one, the black one with the white subdials. Yep,
Yeah, that's a good looking watch.
yep.
Oh,
You can
okay.
see
I
the
see.
concentric circles, and then can you put Speedy Tuesday One loom,
Loom.
because
Yep.
it's actually really nice. And as you can see, the subdials of that one is so different from the normal Speedmaster.
That's
So
so cool.
that loom is pretty cool, right?
That is
And you can see
that is
subdials. You can see
amazing.
it's more the 10, 20, 30. It's not like a normal.
Yeah. Wow. I'm
Pretty cool.
gobsmacked. Even has like the old Omega logo, like the
Yep, yep,
vintage.
yep, yep.
Oh, so cool. Why'd you do this?
Sorry, I didn't
No,
know
no.
that it's been how many years now? Has it been 5 years,
Has it?
guys? Just correct me if I'm wrong, but it's been 5 years since the first Speedy Tuesday watch
Wow.
has been released.
Yeah,
Well, that's a nice loom, right?
it is nice. It is really nice. Uh, let's see. Oh, I see. So Hans here mentions sorry Sanjay. I mean, it looks better in pictures than in person. Yeah. I think you're right. Um, it does look better in pictures than in person. Except well, no, I was gonna say except the one that Dib used to own. That looks amazing, but I've only seen pictures of that, so I can't really comment. I haven't seen that one in person. That was like a limited edition of some ridiculously low number, like 200 pieces or 50 pieces or something like that. Do you remember Dib's watch? Dib's El Primero? It was a tri-colored.
38 millimeter.
Yeah, and it
Yeah,
was
the limited edition, 38 pieces, I think, or
38.
37.
Okay, wow, even less than I thought.
Yeah,
But
it was a very small number, I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
I Googled that, but I don't have a name on that. So Dib, if you're still here, could you let us know what it's called so we can look at it? Um, Keith says our Zenit service costs much higher due to the movement. I've
Probably
heard,
the Almero is definitely expensive too.
Yeah, I've heard that they nickel and
Learn.
dime you too. Um, Richemont. Is Zenith is Richemont? No,
No, LVMH, right?
LVMH. Yes, yeah. I've heard they nickel and dime you on the service. So rather than doing a flat rate like Omega does and replacing the parts that needs replacing or whatever, Zenith will give you a charge on every part. That's what I've heard. I've never had to put a El Primero through a service, so consider this with a pinch of salt. Jazz, constant stan, constant stan, as
Bruce Williams would say.
Bruce Willis would say.
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
He
Uh,
definitely had a wonderful experience with his Vacheron
yes.
overseas for the few months he had it.
Didn't he have it
BC,
for a year or something?
I don't
Like
know.
the blue one, right? The
Yeah, the blue one.
blue overseas.
I do have still have that one too.
Yeah.
Um, yep, Wilson, I agree with you. VC sounds great. JLC, we should just abbreviate everything.
GS.
Yeah.
You know
A-
that. Yeah. And think
ALS,
of
right? Arizona.
ALS.
ALS.
Whenever I hear ALS, I think of the disease.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
BJ says, "What do you guys think of Omega? What do you guys think Omega is going to release on the 26th?" Uh,
Uh, just want to make sure before I say it. Today's what day again? Today's
it's
the
the 7th, Saturday, 7th.
so. Oh, it's a Thursday. I thought it was going to be a Tuesday because I would be all in for a Speedmaster, but
Speedmaster, yeah.
I don't
I
know.
don't. Yeah, I don't know either. New dials for the Aquaterra again. That won't ever
It
show up.
hasn't come to the boutiques yet. Yeah,
Yeah,
1 year in the
it's
making.
been a
Re-release
year.
it. Re-release Aquaterra again.
Yeah, I'll be like,
Like in
oh,
those
we heard you guys.
TV shows.
We
In the
heard that you
previous episode
guys
of Wonder Woman.
say we heard that you guys like the teak deck pattern, so we were scratching the Sunray dial and re-releasing it with a teak deck pattern, and they'll be available in 2025.
I hope they come out this year. I mean,
I mean,
nobody's seen the colored Aquaterras, and
yeah,
that's
you'd
something
think
I
they
really
would,
want to
right?
know. Hopefully,
I mean,
maybe
it's
this.
just
I
a
think I
dial.
was hearing from resources here that it probably is in February that might trickle
Okay,
down. So
yeah, that sounds good. Lyndon, hey, good to see you. It's been a while. It says, Sanjay, what are your thoughts on the Grand Seiko SPG 271 Conroe? Um, I don't, I don't love it. I think it's one of those watches that is a bit overpriced, but there may be deals to be had now. Um, Here, let me share my screen and show that. Bear with me here. SPG 271. It's a very interesting dial. It looks good. But I don't love it. Don't like the case and dial combo. G271. So there. It's got that the seasons collection, like the Sea of Clouds dial, but in black and oh, pardon me there.
that actually looks pretty neat.
Yeah, yeah. It's decent. I wish it was in a different case. I mean, it's a classic Grand Seiko case here, but
Is that the heritage case, or
yeah, yeah.
looks kind of looks like the one I have? That's why.
It's identical to the one you have. It is the one you have. On the SBGM 251. Is that your one? 251?
249.
249, sorry.
Close.
Yeah.
That's all right. We just missed by two numbers, two
Yeah.
digits.
Yeah. So yeah, same case. GMT spring drive. I think it's a little overpriced. Let me double check the price. On here,
But it's
8,200
interesting
Canadian.
to see how these companies, brands are increasing their prices in times of a world economy not doing so well.
Yeah.
Again,
Well,
these are luxury products, but
yeah. This watch came out before the economy took a tumble. So
Hmm.
they released it while Grand Seiko was on that, uptick.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I feel like Grand Seiko has pulled the reins a bit on their prices. Although they're super ultra high end line, like with the 9S A5 and the 9R A 2, 9R A5 movements that are very well finished and have all these crazy tech features. Those ones are still insanely priced for Grand Seiko. I mean, it's all relative, but yeah. I think the SPG 271 should be out there for significant discounts. I'm sure Dib's seen a few of them, like out there. Um, like a speed.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
actually pretty. Yeah, I think that the original from 2013, The Dark Side of the Moon, that sounds like isn't that a movie from Transformers, Dark Side of the Moon, or something like that? There's something with the moon, but any Dark Side of the Moon is a cool, and then all the other variations of White Side is a great
Now,
set.
was that like an Omega thing? Like, did Omega name it the Dark Side of the Moon, or was that like a fan name?
I think Omega named it The Dark Side of the Moon.
Okay,
Pretty sure.
yeah. So the gray side would be Omega as well, then.
Yeah, yeah, Omega. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Mesnan also asking what became of Armand Watch Chronicler. I don't know. I do miss his content. He's a very pleasant young lad. Very pleasant young lad, says this old geezer. Me. Me. Um, let's see. Hey Brian, good to see you. Brian Show Don't Tell. Silly thoughts whenever someone presents an Omega Speedy. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't see that anymore, thankfully. But there was a time. Um, Keith, Keith Davis, pleased to meet you. First time on your stream. Great show. Hey, thank you so much. Hope you're doing well and having a good weekend. Um, Velocity saying, when considering the last 10 years, which watch brand gets the most improved award? I haven't been around for that long. I
Oh,
mean,
10 years. Wow.
in the watch world.
I mean, most improved means that it was really bad 10 years
Yeah.
ago. It's gotten better. I don't know if there's many brands that are. I would probably say IWC, maybe.
Okay.
IWC wasn't so good so long ago. They were oversized watches, and I think they've done much better in the last 3 4 years. Played around with materials. The Mojave Desert, great
Mm,
design.
yeah.
They kind of solidified their lines too. The Mark 20, the Portuguese, the chronographs have been dialed down. Instead of 46, now there's a 43 and now 41. Better movements. Instead of
Yeah.
using Selena movements, they're doing in house now, especially if they're charging that much money.
Right.
Any IWC might be my bet.
Okay. Yeah. I probably shouldn't answer because I know so little. But I'm
I
tempted to
mean,
say
your personal
Breitling
opinion.
in the last 5 years or so. I'm tempted to say Breitling because there used to be just an overstock of product. Now there's way less. Um,
I still don't
price.
see a lot of people buying Breitling though, from
Yeah.
what I know. I see people buying IWC though.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. So maybe honorable mention would be Breitling.
Mhm.
IWC is a good answer. Grand Seiko,
Longines, I see Longines in
Longines.
the chat.
Yeah, Longines a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Longines might be there up high up there.
Yeah. Absolutely. Um, I'll skip right down, guys. I'm sorry if I missed anyone. Um, just to see this. Cartier. Colin says Cartier is a contender.
The
Chaz.
cardio has always been there, though. Cardio has always been.
Yeah. Chaz is saying Long Island Watch. I mean, they
I
didn't
forgot about
exist.
that one.
Oh, Alex here is saying Breitling as well. There you go. And Collins is Breitling too. Wow. Okay. Okay. I'm in good company. I would have thought Colin would say IWC. Colin, you've been in love with IWC lately, right? Um, Keith, Keith saying wrong. Long Island watch is amazing from the start. There you go. No
So
improvement.
from here, you're up here.
Yeah, no improvement necessary. Then you're
Exactly.
yeah.
Rolex is right there, then it's right there now. Hard to beat.
No, that would insinuate that Long Island watch has improvement that needs
Yeah.
improving. Yeah. I'm just being really, I'm being a jerk now, so I'll stop. um, that was really good answer, guys. With Longines, I think I agree with you. Longines is probably my best improved. Um, Borealis says Detroit's Spartan. There we go. Cartier had some darker days, says Colin. Uh,
Cartier, I don't know if Cartier had darker days. At least to us, it has darker days, but their revenue is more than Rolex.
yeah.
um, in the whole scheme of things, they're kind of like Rolex. They're primary. The good thing about them is they don't need the men's section to, unlike all the other brands. They're like, we can survive without men, yeah, and do just well.
Super map. Super map opens in that, right? Pleased to meet you. Thoughts on the SPGP 001?
What
Um,
does P indicate?
I'm sorry?
What does P indicate? I know M is automatic.
Yeah,
Um, A
GMT.
is spring drive.
M is automatic GMT. Um, P is their quartz caliber, but with so the 9F85, it's got
Okay.
it's got like the GMT jump hour feature, but
Okay.
it doesn't have a GMT hand. So that's what the P indicates. A quartz
So
caliber,
it's slightly different from SBGN, right? N is also quartz, right?
yeah.
NF quartz. Okay.
SBGN is the quartz with
Super
the
cool.
GMT. So the
Okay.
9F86 movement.
I see. So the
Yeah.
older P, like 85 is okay. I see.
It's not older.
But
It's
it's just
newer actually.
technology, basically.
Yeah. It's newer technology, but they numbered it one behind because it's not more sophisticated than the GMT. Um, that's my understanding of it at least. But as for the watch, it's respectable watch. Let me share my screen. Um, lots of deals to be had on this one too. So yeah, I mean, didn't doesn't Wolfie has this watch? I forgot about that. Right, this was his watch that didn't count because it's quartz from last year, 2022 watch that isn't supposed to count. um, maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, excellent watch. Lots of deals to be had. Um, highly recommend it if you're into quartz. Uh, Walter St. Collins in love with Grand Seiko.
Yeah, I
Uh,
know. Colin seems like he's on a Seiko kick.
yeah, I mean, making moves recently too, right?
Illuminated his eyes.
Yeah, there you go. He's so advanced that he started and he's condescending to us, you know. And I don't mean condescending in a bad way, even though I sound condescending right now.
Colin was condescending. I did not know that. All right.
No. He's a elite
Con.
human, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, Colin. This is bad.
I understand what you're saying. He's down now with the working folk, with the
Yeah,
Seikos, and yeah.
with the poorest.
Yeah. From the day dates, now he's coming to the Seikos, getting his hands dirty.
Yeah, yeah. Extending out the olive branch with a yeah. Anyway, sorry, Colin. You took a bit of beating there. Let's see. Neeler said any suggestions recommended platforms for buying pre-owned in Toronto, Canada. Very few Canadians on Corona 24. Um, I don't know these guys too well, but I've gone a couple of times to. There's a watch finder. I think they like licensed the name from the British watchfinder, and they're in downtown Toronto. So I've also heard of Johnny Watches and Van Ryck. So those are my places when I'm in the area. I just go to browse. I've never purchased anything from them. I've sold a watch to Johnny Watches. So, if Neeler, if you want to take a gander on those guys, do your due diligence because I'm not condoning. I don't know if they're good guys or anything like that. They might be. They might be very respectable. I mean, I'm sure better chance than not that they're very respectable people. So,
I
um,
bought watches from Chrono 24 from Canada. So
oh yeah,
there are private sellers in Canada, but definitely not as much as in the US.
oh yeah, yeah. Um, Colin says he likes his Grand Seiko. Longines used to be the boss back in the day. Yeah, yeah. One of the oldest registered logos or something like that too, right? Gonna skip down here. Where's Wolfie been? In Austria. He'll be back. He'll be
He's
back.
coming to Miami in a
Oh,
couple
really?
of weeks.
Oh, sweet. I'm looking
He'll
forward
be in
to.
North America soon.
Yeah. Um. Okay. Brian mentioning it could be an old man look on the SBGP 001. That's a fair point. Um, condescending in a good way. My goal in life. There you go. Colin, I love you. So I'm sorry. Yeah, I can be mean. Let's see. Wolfie. Wolfie has been busy ruling the world. Oh man. Yeah.
There's one question there. I see. I
This
think
one here.
that's your yep.
Uh, love your channel. You influence BCPD purchase. BCPD. Big Crown Pointer Date. Okay. I'm shopping for a wedding watch between 2 and 5K, along with a dressy sport vibe of the Black Bay 36 and Longines Spirit 37. Any other come to mind? Uh, Dressy sporty vibe. Those are really good options. Tudor Ranger 39. I know a lot of people don't like it, but you could you could throw that in there, right? Um, the Black Bay 36 with the steel and gold. I think they've really refined that one. I know that's a bit out of that budget, 2 to 5K, but the steel and gold Tudor Black Bay 36, the modern one with a T-fit clasp on there. It's got that really nice Jubilee style bracelet. Um, and the case has been significantly changed, so it has a more refined look. It has become like a not it has become like a Datejust. Um, they've taken the collar off the crown, and it looks more refined than the Black Bay 36 used to be. So I recommend that one too if you're okay with
I think
stretching
in
a
the
little.
pre-owned market, I would definitely suggest the Seamaster SMP 300.
Oh, good one.
You
Yeah,
can get that for definitely less than around four-ish,
yeah,
four. And I think that's getting an Omega Seamaster definitely will last a length of time, like more. Um, so I personally like the more vintage ones, the pre-ceramic ones, but the pre-wave ones, sorry. But even the modern ones, um, when you look at the Chrono 24 and Watch Recon, it's 4,000, 3,800.
yeah.
So
And if you go
increase.
with like the mid-size, like the 36.25 mil Seamaster, that's like smack
Yeah.
dab in the middle of that, dressy sporty vibe because it's an excellent dress watch. Got nice long lugs, so it doesn't wear like a 36.25. I wouldn't say. It has that bezel though, so maybe the dial's small.
The thing about the Seamaster is so hard to turn the bezel.
Yes.
Like, so it just stays there, you know.
Yeah. It's like my Legend Diver. I can't be
Yeah.
bothered to undo the crown to turn the bezel. Um, you know, see. Oh, Colin here is doing well. That's good, Colin.
Yeah, yeah,
Takes a
he's
lot more to hurt my feelings, Sanjay. Yeah, thank you, sir. Um, yeah, that's a good one too. Longines Zulu time. Um, I don't know if he was going for like something smaller because the ones he mentioned were 36 and 37. So. Zulu times 42. Really nice though. Keith loves the Black Bay 36 steel and gold. Yeah, he was the one who called me out on calling it my exit watch. Um, February 2020, I think February or April 2020. I called that my exit. You know, yeah, it
Here we
wasn't.
are in
Yeah,
2023.
yeah. Um, and back then they didn't have the refinements that they have now, so maybe this would be my exit watch. Nowadays, no. eh, I found in the end, if I found it was too much like a day chest to me. Like now with all those refinements, even the clasp, it looks like a Rolex clasp with that T-fit adjustment. And it looked a lot like a day chest. So it didn't have the fluted bezel or anything, but yeah. Hey, Chaz calling the Weemaster. Yep. Where's James? James Duffy. But yeah, we should probably call it a night. It's getting a bit late. How's the family, Bobby?
Good, good.
Yeah. Baby's doing
Eight
well
months
as well.
now. Yep, yep.
Yeah. Is she crawling? He crawling?
He's crawling, yep, and he's starting to stand a little bit. All
Oh,
that
that's
stuff,
nice.
and yeah,
It's exciting.
yeah.
Getting sleep or?
I'm getting well right now. I'm in Miami right now. I have to fly back. She's in Atlanta, so I have to fly
Oh,
back soon, and then I'll lose sleep.
yeah.
right now, I'm, right now I'm streaming
Yeah.
and getting sleep and enjoying, but that'll be temporary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
You must
And
be
you're doing
excited.
well. You're getting sleep or no?
Yes. On and off, but yes, still getting sleep. My little girl is teething, so
Sure.
bit more sleepless nights, but it's not too bad.
How old is she right now?
She is turning 1.
Okay.
So
She
January,
started
end
teething
of
like
January
a
is
month ago.
1. I'm
She
sorry?
just started teething. She's just started teething now, right?
No, no, no. She's got 4 teeth, but I think she's got a bunch more coming in.
Okay.
Um, so she's a bit grumpy. Yeah.
Yeah. You bought a watch the day before New Year's, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh
Just
no.
want to
Yeah, December 31st. I got the Black Bay 58 925 silver.
yeah.
So
You're liking that? Is it?
yes, I am really liking it. I didn't. I mean, I got it because I couldn't get the Pelagos 39. But
Oh, it still hasn't reached, or is it?
no, it didn't. I was hoping it had, um, but it hadn't. And the 925 was there, and I was always interested in the 925, but it was kind of like a consolation prize. Um, and I kind of went in knowing I'm going to trade this when I get the Pelagos 39, right?
Sure.
But now I'm not so sure.
No, it sounds like a consolation prize when you said consolation prize. But
Yeah,
I like the watch. I like the one of all the Tudors out there. The
yeah.
choke dial of the silver is pretty cool. Is it? That's the only question I always ask is, does it tarnish?
It has not yet.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's been through like the ringer in terms of detailing and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's got chemicals on it and water all over it. No tarnishing or anything like that.
Okay. So you haven't
But
bought anything this year, right? So far.
no, nothing this year yet.
Okay. Good.
But let me share a picture. I find this thing extremely difficult um, to photograph because the BlackBerry 58 in general is kind of big on my wrist, like the previous gen ones. Um, and I get a lot of comments. It looks far too big for your wrist, right? And it does look like it's overhanging my wrist. It isn't. Um, I just I just can't get a photo where it doesn't look like it. Like that added millimeter of thickness because of that display case back. It really messes up the BlackBerry 58 feel or look. It messes up the look in pictures. So yeah, it doesn't look like this in real life. I just can't.
Okay.
I just can't take a picture where it doesn't look too big. I mean, it's a dive watch, so I don't really care. Um, but yeah, c'est la vie, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
uh, yeah, yeah, that's my little thing. Photo understeer
Totally.
British colors. Photos at 10 pounds. Yeah, it adds 10 pounds on the watch, not me. it's supposed to add 10 pounds on me, uh, unfortunately. But Hans mentioning that his little girl is 3 weeks old. Hey, congrats!
Oh yeah,
Hang in
that's
there.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Sleep when she's sleeping. That's the only thing I say.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. It's they're such a blessing. Um, I yeah, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine being away from my children like you have to. Unfortunately, Bobby.
Yeah, it's only for 6 more months, and then we'll all be back. You know, she'll be back in Miami.
Yeah, yeah,
So hopefully soon.
yeah.
But okay.
Hopefully soon.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. Thank you, Bobby, for coming in there and chatting with me. I do, yeah, do enjoy chatting with you all the time, Bobby. Um, enjoy
Same here.
chatting. Yeah,
Yep.
so much
This
fun.
is this the first stream of the year?
It is the first stream of the year. Yeah,
That's why you want to make sure we're not
yeah. Start
things
with
right. Yeah.
yeah, start on a high note.
Exactly.
There we go.
All
All right,
right.
guys. Take care. Stay safe. You're infinitely valuable. You really are. Don't forget that. See you next week. Good night.
Good night.